Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Morning. 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 Today is Wednesday, June 24th. Mama dear, you woke me up this morning. I felt your presence with me. I didn't know why I was getting up so early, but I remember today is your birthday. You up in the heavens with the Lord and the angels. And we love you. So today I was thinking about Mama dear, and I don't know, something told me to come outside, and I don't know, but here it goes. Okay, so if I say anything that I'm reading a short story. The name of the short story is called Captain Stormfield's Visit to Heaven. Okay, so this is just a little short story, a fiction. It's a short story, but it's kind of giving us like one guy's perspective. It's not everybody's perspective, but it's just one guy's perspective of heaven. So he's died, and he was a captain when he was on earth. He was a captain when he was in human form. But he has transitioned. He died. He says he died. He had been dead. Okay, so this is how the short story opens up. Well, when I had been dead about 30 years, I began to get a little anxious. And that's how it starts off. Okay. And he says, mind you, I had been whizzing through space all the time like a comet. Why, Peters, I laid over the lot of them. Of course, there weren't any of them going my way as a steady thing, because they travel in a long circle like the loop of a lasso. Whereas I was pointed as straight as a dart for the hereafter. So, Captain Stormfield adventured in the heavens for 30 years without even going to heaven or hell. Okay, so he gets to heaven, right? He gets to the pearly gates. And he has a conversation with the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper doesn't know anything about our planet or our solar system because there's billions of solar systems. Okay, so this is where I'm coming from. So all right. So this is him talking to another guy, and another guy's talking to him. So this is not Captain, but this is the other guy talking to him. I'll set you right on the point very quick. People take the figurative language of the Bible and the allegories for literal. And the first thing they ask for when they get here is a halo and a harp, and so on. Nothing that's harmless and reasonable is refused a body here, if he asks it in the right spirit. So they are outfitted with these things without a word. They go and sing and play just about one day, and that's the last you'll ever see them in that choir. They don't need anybody to tell them that that sort of thing wouldn't make a heaven. At least not a heaven that a sane man could stand a week and remain sane. The cloud bank is placed where the noise can't disturb the old inhabitants. And so there aren't any harm in letting everybody get up there and cure himself as soon as he comes. And this is Captain Stormfield. Now you just remember this heaven is a beautiful, no, this is not him. Now you just remember this heaven is as blissful and lovely as it can be, but it's just the busiest place you've ever heard of. There aren't any idle people here after the first day, singing hymns and waving palm branches through all eternity is pretty much when you hear about it in the pulpit. But it's a poor way to put a valuable time as a body could contrive. It would just make a heaven of warbling ignoramus, don't you see? Eternal rest sounds comfortable in the pulpit too. Well, you try it once and you see how heavy time will hang on your hands. Why, Stormfield, a man like you that had been active and stirring all his life would go mad in 6 months in a heaven where he hadn't anything to do. Heaven is the very last place to come to rest in, and don't you be afraid to bet on that. Sure, Sam, I'm as glad to hear it as I thought I'd be sorry. I'm glad to come now, says he. Cap, ain't you pretty physically tired? Says I. Sam, it ain't any name for it. I'm dog tired. So he was talking to somebody. Just so. You've earned a good sleep, and you'll get it. You've earned a good appetite, and you'll enjoy your dinner. It's the same here as it is on earth. You've got to earn a thing square and honest before you enjoy it. You can't enjoy it first and earn afterwards. But there's this difference here. You can choose your own occupation, and all the powers of heaven will put forth to help you make a success of it. If you do your level best, the shoemaker on earth that had the soul of a poet in him won't have to make shoes here. Now that's all reasonable and right, says I. Plenty of work and the kind of hankering after. No more pain, no more suffering. Oh, hold on. There's plenty of pain here, but it don't kill. There's plenty of suffering here, but it don't last. You see, happiness ain't a thing in itself. It's only a contrast with something that ain't pleasant. That's all it is. There ain't a thing you can mention that is happiness in its own self. It's only so by contrast with the other thing. And so as soon as the novelty is over and the force of the contrast dulled, it ain't happiness any longer, and you have to get something fresh. Well, there's plenty of pain and suffering in heaven. Consequently, there's plenty of contrast and just no end of happiness. There's plenty of contrast, but no end of happiness. I thought that was very fitting. Mama dear worked, raised a family, and I'm part of her legacy. And Mama dear, Brother George, they've gone on, but I could hear them saying, in heaven, there's plenty of pain, but it don't last. There's suffering, but it don't last. It's only a contrast. Happiness is nothing without hard work. Happiness is nothing without dedication. And that's kind of what I need. I need to get myself in a position where I'm comfortable with doing the hard things. I'm not looking for a shortcut. I'm not looking for a way out. But I'm looking to throw myself wholeheartedly into an endeavor where I can, at the end of the day, get a good night's rest. At the end of the day, I can say, I accomplished something. And Mama Dear, although I didn't have a lot of time with her, she showed me that, you gotta earn a thing. You gotta earn a thing square and fair before you can sit back and relax. You don't get the prize before you get the work. You know what I mean? You don't get the praise before you go through the pain. You know what I'm saying? You got the sweat and you got the toil, and that's just what it is. It ain't a fairy tale. And this little short story by Mark Twain, I think it's funny because he's kind of being a little bit funny about what we think happiness is, what we think heaven is going to be. Heaven's going to be, we're going to be flying around and playing harps and walking around heaven all day. Hell, man, that sounds boring as hell, man. I hate to say, excuse my language, but who wants to just be walking around all day? I've been here at my house for 3.5 months, and I'm going out of my mind. I can't imagine eternity. I thought this was so fit. I read this short story like 2 weeks ago, and it came in handy because it was about that time that I had started really thinking, man, I'm not doing anything productive, and this is not good for me to just be out at the house. It's not good for me, but it's not about me today. But Mama Dear, I'm looking up at the sunshine. The sky's turning. The sky is getting lighter. The light is coming into the sky. And, it's going to be a good day today. So, this is your grandson, Orlando Sampson III, aka DJ Love Daddy, saying, I love you, Granny. I love you, Mama Dear. We miss you. And we'll see you soon. One love.